morning, millennials. Welcome back to the Morning Toast.
Welcome back to you.
Me and to the studio and to the YouTube channel. What up, everyone? We are back, baby. Yeah.
We're back. It's been so long. So much has happened. There was a quarantine. There was a trip.
There was so much.
There was.
And I think it's so important to take time for yourself because, like, I have this zest for life right now. Like, this is going to be the best episode ever.
Wow, I'm so excited.
It's just like, I think, I don't even know how to explain how it is that I'm feeling, and I hope that everyone who's listening can take time for themselves, like just a few days away from your job if you can. Like, it is so refreshing, and to see other people, there's nothing like it. There is nothing like other human beings. And I never thought that's something I would say because I hate other people.
I've never thought that's something that you would say either.
Oh, it was delicious. I just loved waiting in lines at the airport. Like, I was just like living for it.
Nice. Well, tell us about your trip.
Well, it was very long, and I apologize in advance for taking that extra week off.
I think we all needed it. I'm not mad about it. I'm happy you got what you needed out of it. I liked, being at home, but I'm also so happy to be back in studio finally. But I needed to miss the studio.
That's it. It's like you need to miss. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? Literally,
absence makes the heart grow fonder.
So I definitely felt that, and I was supposed to leave on Monday, and this feeling like of having to leave was making me so upset. I was like, I can't. Like, I was literally going to cry. I'm like, I love vacation me, and I'm tan, and I'm beautiful, and I'm excited, and I don't have anxiety. So I was with Brian because we were celebrating his birthday, TPG, and of course he had like a whole other leg of his trip planned to this other island and this amazing hotel. So I decided to just book a room and, throw caution into the wind. And I've never been that type of girl, like wanderlust. Like,
you're also the type of person that, like, when your vacation is done, like, you are done and you're ready to go home. So if you weren't ready, then it wasn't your time. Much like the San Francisco 49ers, it was not your time.
Exactly. And I actually like to one of my favorite qualities about myself is, like, I could be on an amazing trip, but when the trip is over, like, I always really want to go home. Like, I always miss my home. I always miss Theo. I don't fucking miss my home anymore because, like, I've been there for so long. So I knew Theo was in great hands with his grandparents, and I felt like, if not now, I had Norma in my head. Norma was like, your 20s, after this pandemic is over, when you have the first opportunity, like, get the fuck out there. And so I got the fuck out there, and I had the best second half of the trip. I stayed at the Rosewood, and I literally called you the second I got there because you and Zach have to go there. Like, it is honeymoon central. Rosewood in Virgin Gorda, which is, I've never been to the British Virgin Islands. Sickening. It was giving me Turks and Caicos, Maldives vibes. And it's not super easy to get to, but it's not 16 hours to the Maldives. Like, it was gorgeous, and it was so unique. Me and Brian did a Patreon episode, and he really spoke about how, like, this is such a unique time to travel. And if you can, like, with so many people are working remotely now, so you really can travel. And if you feel safe doing it, it's super safe. It's so special. Like, I was at this hotel they say they were at 10% capacity. Me, Brian, and Ben were the only people at this hotel. Like, it literally felt like the campers were, like, running the joint.
We love to see it.
It's so unique. Like, I encourage everyone to safely travel because, like, Brian said, even on the podcast, like, in one way or another, like, change fees are coming back. Like, all this stuff, we're going to get back to where we were before. So if you can, just, like, take a weekend for yourself, a road trip, fly somewhere. I felt so safe. Like, I never felt for 1 second like I was in, like, a situation that I was uncomfortable with. The BVIs, I've had my nose poked and prodded, I think probably 6 or 8 times in the 2 weeks that I was gone because they have very strict rules. So I felt really safe, even though they do the COVID test a little different in the BVI. Like, they choke you to death. Like, in the airport, the second you land in Tortola, they test you. And I walk out of the center and I'm like, Ben, like, was that? I'm like a baby. So I'm like, was that insane? We come out crying. Like, they just do it differently in the BVIs, but whatever. I was allowed to travel. So all in all, thank you everyone for giving me the grace of taking an extra week off, and it was incredible. And self-care.
Self-care is so important, except I was doing a Peloton ride and Robin NYC said something, like, so profound.
Didn't she just give birth?
She just gave birth. And also I've been back on my Peloton grind. I'm finally beating my old records.
Good.
So, like, I've gotten to a good place mentally, not, like, physically really, but I guess that's good. That
emotionally is all that matters.
But she once said in a ride that really stuck with me, sometimes self-care looks like hard work. Not what you were just saying.
We're, like, speaking different languages.
No, but, like, sometimes it does,
Like, yeah. Well, yeah, it depends if you're Robin NYC. Like, of course.
No, but like, I'm sure Robin NYC also like goes on vacation and chills out. But like, sometimes what you need to do, what's best for yourself, is to put in the work.
Okay, so like, I'm like hating that you're saying that because let me tell you why. Like, I'm the type of person like who unpacks like the second I get home, and of course I have not unpacked, and it's killing me, but like I just can't, like, to unpack the memories. It'll be so sad, and like I'm just not in the mood, and I feel like in order to feel my best, I should unpack.
Sometimes self-care looks like hard work.
But
sometimes self-care looks like unpacking.
It's so unlike me. Like I literally, like, I could get home.
But the thing is, I think that you've been taking care of yourself, so like if you slip on the unpacking, like it's fine. The scales, they balance out.
Like I literally just want to like hire an intern to unpack for me. Like I so don't want to.
Why can't Theo do it?
Because he's useless.
I missed him so much.
How's Bruiser?
You guys,
your stories, by the way, sorry to cut you off, like, for the 1,000th time. Your stories have been some of your finest work.
Really?
I keep responding to everyone, LOL, LOL, like, it's so good.
I feel like nobody cares about Bruno and his comb.
Oh, I mean, I don't know about, I can't speak for, the whole community, but I
you're
can
a tough critic, so if you're into it, then I think others are too.
Hysterical.
He's doing well. Like, every day he's getting better, his spirits are coming back, but it's like this sense of betrayal, like, that he feels I've
taken away his
committed towards him. It's really put a strain on our relationship, and I keep telling him, like, Brew, it will get better. Like, better days are ahead of you. What can I do to make you feel special? Like, what does Brew want to do?
Brew needs some self-care. Brew needs a vacation. What about Brew?
And really, all he wants is to see Magnolia and Theo. Like, and that's all. And he's like, I've told you a million times.
But can he while he has stitches?
Well, Knowles has been like busy. Theo's been busy, so it's like it hasn't even been an option. His stitches seem like on the mend, so I think that in a few days he could see them. But it's like everyone is so busy. Theo literally is back to back.
Back to back to back. And you know what he's doing all day today? Meetings. He's booked and busy. No, we got to get the band back together. Like now, because we were in quarantine for a week. Then we had 2 weeks off for the trip. Like, it has been like a full ass month since I've seen my family.
Yeah, no,
which is so not like us.
It's so not like us, but Jackie, it's just a wild few weeks.
The Parcells would be so upset with us. Like,
I know, but you know what? I'm sure like Parcells, like things have happened. I saw Rachel was in Hawaii.
Yeah, it looks like a beautiful trip. Got to hit up the montage.
Totally.
Also, I think we should just talk about like obviously the elephant in the room,
which is
how tan I am.
There's so many.
One right here, but how tan I am. Like, I think we should talk about it.
I think it's a beautiful glow. Do you feel like sickening the sands down?
I think I'm Gigi Hadid. Like, I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. And as I was doing my makeup today, I was like in the vanity being like, oh my God, I'm so gorgeous. Like, it really got to me how, like, of course, a spray tan is good, but like nothing compares to like a true tan with the freckles. And it's like upsetting that we live in New York and like this, I'll only look like this for like a few more days. And this only happens like once a year. And it really made me start thinking like, I think I gotta hit up the UV beds. Like, I need like a real tan. And it's like, yes, I could get skin cancer, which would not be good, but I would be tan.
I think the spray tan will have to suffice. I think at this point, like the beds, we just know too much about them.
No, and I think our grandfather would be disappointed in us. After all, he did die of skin cancer.
Right.
But so, I don't know. I haven't written it off yet.
No, but you should.
I know, but like, how do I get this real looking tan spray?
And you know what? Here's the other thing. If you were to look this tan all the time, then you wouldn't even feel fabulous anymore.
Shit, bitch, you are so fucking smart.
So I think enjoy it while you have it. Sickening. Let's get a close up on the tan.
But like when it goes away, like look at my chest. Like, hold on.
And also, like, we can't talk about this tan without talking about the sunburn that you had to endure.
Oh my God.
To get it.
Okay, let me tell you. So me and Ben, the whole trip was supposed to be one weekend. And I'm like, in the British Virgin Islands for Brian's birthday. And I'm like, you know what, Ben, like, let's make the most of it. Let's go to like a random other island before. And I always get a spray tan before a trip if I'm traveling with other people. Because, you like to get dressed up, whatever.
Because it makes everything better.
But if it's like just me and Ben on a trip, like I don't give a shit what I look like. So I was like, should I get a spray tan or should we go to St. Thomas first, get really tan and show up to like Brian's birthday trip looking sickening? So I'm like,
knowing what happened.
So I'm like,
that's funny.
Let's do that. So we get there. We only have like 2 full days in the sun before we have to go to Brian's. And so I'm making the most. And I'm like not wearing sunblock, but I'm like, I know I'll get a little burn, but that's okay because like I'll be sickeningly tanned in like no time. We get back from the beach the first day and you don't realize like how bad it is until you've showered and you're inside. Mm-hmm. And I did look at the UV index as I was sitting in the sun for literally 12 hours and it said 11. And I don't know why.
That seems high.
I don't even know why I bothered to look it up because I don't even know what that means, but I later learned it's the highest one. And we get back, and me and Ben are tomatoes. It's the kind of sunburn where you're purple, you know?
I do know. This is hurting me.
It was so crazy. It like literally ruined like a huge part of our trip. Like we could not sit in the sun for any other day. Like I couldn't even take a bath. I wanted to go to the spa. I couldn't go to the spa. It was crazy. We were so desperate because like we were planning on showing up to the party looking sickening.
Instead you looked sick.
Literally, we looked so sick when we arrived. Everyone was like, oh my God, are you guys okay?
You look sick.
And we were like trying to play it off. We're like, we're fine. Like we've just been in the sun a lot. We were dying. We couldn't even walk. Like it was literally like robot walking. It was traumatizing. So this is your sign to wear sunblock.
And I feel like because we've not seen the sun for a year, like you do forget how powerful it can be. And so I think a lot of people will they'll be so excited for the sun, like so excited to no longer be green, that they'll get a little carried away. So I'm glad we have this warning. Wear sunscreen. I know it's like not so cool to put on sunscreen like while you're like sunbathing.
I know.
But like it's also not cool to be purple.
You should see my back. Like you would die. It's literally looks like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like it's just skin falling off like in every direction. And it's so itchy. And I can't scratch my back. It's literally like the most cruel thing ever, like having a scratch on your back that you can't itch. But imagine having it 24/7.
But if I scratch your back,
you need to scratch mine. Remember when Kris Jenner almost managed that girl band, BG5?
Yeah, I think that she did, but she obviously like would say now that she didn't.
Yeah, because it was a huge failure.
Yeah, huge failure. Not everyone can be Little Mix. You guys, Little Mix is just taking over the world. Does anyone else feel that way? They wake up every day and it's like Little Mix just did something else sickening?
No, I don't, but I don't doubt that you feel that way.
But it's also because I, like, on Peloton, I guess, like, you were in the BVIs, I was on the Peloton.
Right.
And on the Peloton, like, all the instructors that I ride with have so much respect for Little Mix, and every single time a Little Mix song comes on, they're like, Little Mix, they were on X Factor. They said girl bands can't win X Factor. Guess what they did? They won X Factor.
Is Peloton big in the UK, maybe?
Well, one of the instructors that I ride with is
British
from the UK, but just Cody Rigsby has the utmost respect for Little Mix, and it's a pleasure to ride.
So I actually followed Cody Rigsby on TikTok. Like, not that I know anything about his work. I've never even sat.
All I know about, like, or all you need to know is that, like, he would be your best friend.
I know, and so, like, he goes viral on TikTok a lot. Like, not his videos, but people are always, like, clipping his, like, funny shit that he says on his ride. And so I followed him.
And good stuff?
I haven't seen anything yet. Like, I literally did it yesterday.
Got it. Well, that's who I've been hanging out with.
And Bruno Sweets.
And Bruno Sweets. And Bruno Sweets every day, like, a new cone arrives for him to figure out. And he's like, this is better than what I was working with, but still a betrayal.
I was like a deadbeat mom. I took the cone off. Like, I know you're not supposed to, but, like, Theo didn't lick his suture, so, like, he was fine.
Yeah, we got him like this turtleneck.
That's what Theo had.
Onesie, and it's just a little big. I have like a smaller one coming soon, and unfortunately, like we caught him like licking a little, so it had to come off. It was like really sad. I was like, you had one job, and it just was to not lick.
Yeah, but you can also give him an hour a day without the cone. Just watch him, like.
Yeah. So it's been getting better. It's just, it was tough for Bruno Sweets, you know?
For the whole Wine Rib Sweets family.
It really was, but I think eventually it will bring us all together.
Of course, and I'm just glad that now Bruno can safely play in the park.
Very, very true.
Just in time. Oh, everyone's like, coming to New York, it's 65 degrees. It's 27 fucking degrees today. It's freezing.
Yeah, you guys, we had one nice day. Like, let's not get carried away.
No, that's exactly what people did. Got carried the fuck away.
I know, and it's like even Saturday and Sunday was like 30s, 40s, but everyone was treating it like 60s, which was actually nice. I actually had a really fun like outdoor day with my friends on Saturday, and it was nice to like have that vibe again.
Yeah, I saw your stories, and I'm like, oh, homegirl's wearing a fur coat. It's not warm anymore.
Right, but it's like, I'm just going to act like it's warm, but it's not.
You have to, wait, hold on. Create the weather that you wish to see in the world.
Yeah, dress for the weather that you wish to see in the world, but then sometimes, like, if you're dressed so out of season, like, you look like a fool.
Yeah, everyone has a memory of, like, childhood when it's, like, it turns to
or adulthood.
Yeah, right. But, like, I have a distinct memory. It's like, oh, it randomly, like, became spring, and, like, you're still in your fucking, like, long sleeve turtleneck, and it's like the shame. You never forget incidents like that ever.
I remember one, it was in adulthood where it was like transitioning from summer to fall, and I just decided that it was going to be fall today, and so like I got all dressed up for fall, and it was like so hot.
You fell into fall.
And I felt so stupid.
No, like I'm telling you, like it's literally the most traumatizing. And it's such like a random thing, and everyone's like, aren't you hot? Yes, Sally, I'm fucking hot. I fucked up. Like, why don't you rub it in? It's really like a traumatizing, and you're right, it happens in adulthood, but for me, like that traumatizing moment was 100% like in middle school.
Yeah, actually my first memory, like if you think of like the first memory that you have, it's hard to really pinpoint, but I just remember like being in pre-K, and I think the seasons were changing, and it was
Wow, that's a really young memory.
No, that's what I'm saying. I just remember sitting in class, it was like becoming spring, and I was wearing a dress, and I just remember feeling hot and feeling like this dress wasn't like the right thing to be wearing.
Why the fuck were you wearing a dress?
It's like I was at school being cute.
In pre-K, you wore a dress to school?
100%.
Kids wear like onesies, I thought.
No. Like I was just wearing a cute dress. Like
that is so funny.
And I just remember thinking like, it's a little hot for this dress.
No, you had like swamp ass from the dress, chub rub.
I don't remember that, but
okay, wait. I think I remember my first memory, and it involves you, obviously.
Obviously.
So I do have a distinct memory of us, and tell me if I'm making this up, because you know.
And also sometimes memory, like the idea of memory is just so complex. But also sometimes someone tells you a story, and then you think that it was your memory, but it's someone telling you a story.
Literally, over this weekend, I heard Ben telling someone a story, and I literally turned to him, and I'm like, that's my fucking story. Like, that literally happened to me. And I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't have called him out, because like I kind of embarrassed him, but like, I couldn't believe
here
it.
You are embarrassing him.
I heard him telling the story. I'm like, and it wasn't even that long ago. It was like 1 year ago. I'm like, that's my fucking story.
I think that sometimes memory can do that.
But it's also like a cool story. I think he was just trying to like steal my story.
Oh,
yeah.
Just let him have it. But what's your first memory?
So we had just had breakfast, and we were getting ready for school, and we started spinning. Like,
oh, I know. I have this memory.
And
too.
you peed in your pants.
Yeah. That's a normal thing, to get ready for school, have breakfast, and then start spinning. We were like doing like circles to see who could get the dizziest, and we were laughing so hard because we're just so funny.
We were so funny, and Jackie peed, and then she had to get driven to school separately.
Yeah, because I didn't make the bus because I peed my pants.
Just one more thing I wanted to talk about that I didn't expect to happen, you know, and I feel like a lot more people should be talking about this, because what I really experienced on my trip, like, you know, socializing with not a lot of people, of course, but just people for the first time, was my social anxiety is off the chain. Like, I woke up every morning being like, what did I do last night? And I didn't even do anything crazy. Like, we sat on the beach. Like, it's just, I didn't expect that to be a side effect of the pandemic, but I just want to warn everyone, like, when you start to slowly like emerge back into social scenes with like, not your just immediate circle. Like, I don't give a shit what my immediate circle thinks about me. Like, they're my immediate circle, but just like your social, it will shake you. Like, we're not used to it.
Well, I think also social anxiety, like that sort of what you're describing, also comes from drinking.
Yes, like hangover anxiety.
Yeah, but I feel like before the pandemic, like a lot of us had managed like that delicate balance of like drinking, having fun, and the moral hangover that comes after it. But I have found that like now being in social settings, like my social skills are just off.
Yeah, and like people are talking, and I'm like, I just don't care what you're saying. Yeah, but I think I had that before.
Yeah, and I think I was always awkward. So
no, you're not awkward. You're just like not super forward.
Yeah, but I do like I feel hyper aware of my social skills. I'm like,
but you know what's cool? It's like so does everyone else. Like everyone is just doing their best.
Right, like everyone comes back from the day and they're like, my social skills were weird. Not, oh, Jackie's was being weird.
You know, everyone is now like obsessed with like how weird they were.
Yeah, how they came off.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
Yeah, I think we're fine too.
Hopefully. No, everyone's talking about us.
Okay, I think we should get into everything because we have a lot to discuss today, and we have a fabulous interview at the end of the show with Jasmine Sanders, aka the Golden Barbie, who is in this year's edition of Sports Illustrated, as she was on the cover last year.
She's an icon and a queen. The episode is podcast only, so if you're watching on YouTube, at the end of the episode, just head over to the podcast, because we recorded with her via Zoom, and she was still looking like sickeningly, stunningly beautiful and golden.
100%.
So you think?
So I think without further ado, it is time for the Fast 5 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast.
Do I sound hoarse?
You do.
Okay, yeah, I don't know why. I just like feel hoarse.
I was actually going to mention it, but then we just, went on a million tangents. Your very sticky shoes today.
Sticky shows. Wow, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. I feel fine, but just okay. Today's episode is brought to you by Noom. Think about everything you've ever learned about getting healthy. There is a lot of contradictory information out there, and things like that old-fashioned food pyramid aren't much help. So enter Noom. You know how to chew, how to use chopstick, and how to fold a slice of pizza. But do you really know how to eat? Noom says if you want to lose weight, it's not about one thing you ate today, but how you eat in general. So Noom is not about what you ate, it's about how you eat. They teach you about your eatings, your craving, and how to build new habits so you can ditch your misconceptions and get smart about food and the choices that you make. So with Noom, you can pick the health goals that are right for you, and Noom will personalize a weight loss program to help your aspirations become a reality. So there's a million different reasons why you might want to start eating better, feeling better. A lot of people are doing it to lose weight, to fit better into their clothes, just to feel better physically, or just feel more confident and comfortable in a crowd. So that's why Noom is so fabulous, because it's so personalized for everyone, because it's based in psychology. They'll teach you why you make the choices that you do, and it'll give you the tools to replace your habits with healthier ones. Noom's cognitive behavioral approach means you're not just losing weight, but you are building the habits you need to keep it off. One of the things we love most about Noom is they have like the biggest food database ever, so the app makes it really easy to track your food intake. And actually, when I went to the gastroenterologist, she said it's probably the best food tracker she always recommends to her clients.
It is the best food tracker.
Everyone is busy, and that's why Noom doesn't demand much of your time. They only ask for 10 minutes a day, and over 80% of Noomers finish the program, and over 60% of them have stuck with their goal for at least 1 year. There's a science to getting healthier, and it's called Noom. Sign up for your trial today at noom.com/toast. Learn how to eat again with Noom. Sign up for your trial today at Noom, noom.com/toast. I know Jackie's been on Noom for like almost a year now.
Yeah, no, it is the best. I recommend it to everyone who's starting out and doesn't really know where to start.
Right.
And as far as like the food database that they have, like it makes putting in your intake so easy. You don't have to go searching or like inputting a million things. Like they
got you covered.
Make it as easy as possible.
So if you're ready to learn how to live healthier, sign up for Noom today at noom.com/toast.
Nice. Okay, first story, Grammys 2021 recap. We will get to all of the winners. Let's talk about the highlights. How much did you watch?
I watched pretty much the whole thing.
From start to finish?
I was about 20 minutes late, but I did catch up.
But you watched the opening?
Entire, yes.
Okay, got it. I was feeling really conflicted because I know I said I wasn't going to watch it, but then I was just like sitting on my bed. It was like 7:55, and I was like, I'll turn it on just because like it is the Grammys and we do host a pop culture show, and it seems like the thing I should watch.
Yes, I know that you and we take this like hard stance on award shows. Not always, but especially in the last year, because they have a way of feeling so out of touch in so many ways, even though they spend so much time, like airtime during the award show, like talking about the pandemic, talking about the healthcare workers, how hard this year has been. Just something about it feels like people are literally struggling so hard to put food on the table. And like, I just don't care that Laura Dern is wearing Oscar de la Renta. Like I agree. Like that's what we've been saying a lot of this year.
Yes, and I've always like felt just like not the most excited person about award shows, especially this year. But I've always felt like the Grammys, if I can watch one, it is the Grammys because there's performances. And I do think that like music is so important, especially in difficult times. Like I have turned to music so many times this year, and it's gotten me through a lot of times. So I don't want to punish the music. No,
and I generally feel like I actually really love music award shows. Like I would watch like the People's Music, whatever, like American Music Awards. I just love, like I happen to be such a big fan of so many popular music artists in pop music, in country music. So I don't have that same detest. Like I look at the Oscars and the Golden Globes and I'm like, you fucking snobs. Like I can't relate to these people at all. And I just like, I have this like hatred for everyone who acts. I don't have that for the music industry. And I think it's because, first of all, right, exactly what you just said. Even in the toughest of times, like this year, music has been so helpful. Like sad music, happy music, Rain on Me, literally Save the Year. Like, I don't feel that way about the Grammys. And I actually think part of what's so frustrating about the Golden Globes is the same fucking 4 people every year. It's like, change it up.
No, and it's like we spend so much of our year watching TV, and like the things that we watch aren't being talked
about.
Like
where's, Real Housewives of New York on the Golden Globes red carpet?
100%.
So I feel like music really nails. It's so diverse in its genres and its people. There's so many different artists. There's Latin artists. Like there's just so much. And it feels really representative of the world we live in. Whereas like the Golden Globes, I'm like, what world are you guys living in?
Yes, I totally agree. So for that reason, I gave the Grammys a chance. I watched the opening, like the first chunk until commercials, I think. And there was performances by Harry Styles, Billie Eilish, and Haim. And I just like don't want to be super negative.
No, that's okay. That's usually my job, and I'm going to be positive. So let's switch it up.
But then I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
And then Zach was watching it, so I caught I caught DaBaby, Bruno Mars, Taylor Swift, and Dua Lipa. And I loved all 4 of those performances. And I was like, I'm leaving on a high. So overall, I'm like neutral. And then I heard really good things about like the rest of the show. I just felt like the opening was like a really bad start.
Well, let's just start from the top. Like, let's go through all the performances and then all the winners.
Harry Styles.
Okay, I know you said, we were talking about this before. You said it felt like a cover band.
No, so I think Harry Styles is beyond fabulous, so talented, absolutely love his music, love the song Watermelon Sugar, who doesn't? I felt like the performance was like kind of lackluster. It felt like someone doing like a talent show at high school, doing a really good job, but like that's how we're going to open the Grammys. I wasn't totally impressed.
No, I couldn't disagree less. Like the lack of shirt, I don't know like how you could say that was talent show. And the boa and like it was gorgeous. Like I don't think I've ever seen Harry Styles' belly. Like it was everything. And he literally said, "I want your belly," and then his belly was out. Like that is fucking lyrical artistry genius.
Is it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. Agree to disagree.
Okay, but I'm with you on Haim. Like I thought it was a really good placement. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's a great time slot. And I think I've said this before, I should adore Haim. And I just don't.
Friends of Taylor Swift, Jewish sisters.
Like, oh my God. Us. Like, no. Not us. Except that one song that they first came
The Wire.
Sickening. Love that song.
Yep.
They haven't done it for me since then. And I did like their coordinating Prada outfits, but I'm like, they're just so like quirky, you know? And I'm like, it just wasn't for me.
It was not for me. And Billie Eilish was in between Harry Styles and Haim.
And the thing is that I just don't think I am meant to be like Billie Eilish's #1 fan in terms of like my demographic. I think she speaks for a lot of young people. I respect her a lot, and I think she's extremely talented, but she's just not my personal vibe. Is that okay to say?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Okay,
so then what happened after?
Can we just get a list of the performers so we could just like compliment? Because the best ones were Dua Lipa. Like, oh my God, what a star. Every time I see her perform, I'm reminded of like how incredibly talented she is. Her music is not only stellar, like she's literally, if she tried desperately to release a bad song, she couldn't. But when she performs, she comes to life. She's such a good dancer. She's such a good live performer. Her voice is so good. Her outfits were so sickening. Chris Appleton did her hair, and you could just tell, like, her hair was sickening. Her red carpet, Cher, Butterfly, she got a 10 out of 10 on every level. And as the awards went by, like, she kept not winning them, and I was surprised. She did end up winning one, and I was happy for her.
I was happy for her, too. Cody Rigsby really campaigned for her to win Album of the Year.
It wasn't going to happen.
I know, but I think she had like a really good chance, and I would have been happy if she had won. I'm obviously so happy that Taylor won.
There was literally no way that any other album, and I'm not just like a delusional Taylor fan.
Even though I absolutely lived for Dua Lipa's music this year, and like some like Physical and Don't Start Now were some of the best songs of all time.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I ever listened. Actually, like once or twice I listened to Future Nostalgia from start to finish.
And like as a whole.
But that was it.
No, and it's like.
But I listened to Folklore from start to finish all the
countless times. I did it this morning while doing my hair and makeup. Like, and I think that it's just, and I'm not just saying this as a delusional Taylor Swift fan, which I am. I'm not denying that. But I think so many people, whether they're Taylor Swift fans or not, like leaned on that album so heavily. Like it came out at the worst time for everyone. Like for whatever different reason, whether you were struggling like emotionally, financially, mentally, like that album literally like cured coronavirus. Like it didn't cure coronavirus, it cured quarantine. Like it made quarantine bearable. It gave us something to live for. And not to put down any of the other albums, but like Album of the Year represents the year.
Yeah.
Folklore was this year.
I'm not arguing with you.
No, just in case there's anyone who maybe didn't understand.
Cody would.
And it was a good album, not putting it down.
I don't think Cody loves Taylor Swift, but also they don't play Taylor Swift on Peloton. I don't think they have the rights to her music. So we'll never, he's never had to discuss her.
We'll find out.
Okay. Black Pumas performed, Doja Cat.
Doja Cat's outfit was really, really brave.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
But her performance, she always impresses me. I'm like, oh yeah, she is really good. Because like her music is good, but she's like a Dua Lipa. Like the singing, the dancing, on fleek. Like she was great.
Yeah. Post Malone.
I love Post Malone. And just like the fact that there was a very small gathering of people on that roof, kind of how they did at the CMAs. And we kept getting panned to people who were just like watching the performances, which is my favorite part of award shows, was great. He was giving me like the best reactions to other people's performances, and his performance was excellent too. And I feel like, I know she's like not technically single, but I think him and Cardi B would be a really cute couple.
Oh, cute. Also, when they had like their little, gym auditorium of performances and you saw like the other people in the background, it was an interesting...
I loved it.
Addition. Yeah, it's just like they had to be on the whole time.
Right, which is hard.
Yeah. Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay, unbelievable. Like, unbelievable. Like, nobody worked harder at the Grammys than Megan Thee Stallion. Like, nobody. It was such a good performance. And then when Cardi came out in that big bed, it was everything. Everything.
Okay, I have to watch that one.
Oh,
afterwards.
you didn't see it? Oh.
No, I didn't see it. I said the ones that I did see.
It was so sickening. Like, literally just, they were working, and they did WAP, they did Body Yaddy Yaddy, they did I think they did a little Savage. It was like a medley. It was unbelievable, and they had this huge bed constructed, and it was just like so sickening. And then like Trevor Noah came out and like was making really bad jokes, and I have something to say about Trevor Noah. I've seen a lot of people critiquing him, and he started to annoy me. And then it occurred to me, it's like even the best host in the world always becomes annoying at some point in the night. And I actually think Trevor Noah like did a really good job of keeping the annoyances down
to a minimum.
But his peak annoying was when he came out on stage like to Cardi B when she was done and being like, this is my dream. Like he was being so annoying. I'm like, Trevor, like just cut to commercial.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. John Mayer and Maren Morris.
It was really cute. I loved it. I was waiting for John Mayer to sing, but he just played guitar, which like we love, but like come on.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, so let me know what that sounds
Yeah.
like. Taylor Swift.
There's so much to unpack. First of all, let's start with the song selects. We got Cardigan, which isn't my favorite song, but I think it really showcases how talented Taylor is in terms of like lyrical. I knew you'd haunt all of my what ifs, like just like all these beautiful soliloquies. Then she gets up off the grass and she's sitting on top of a house and she sings August, which of the two albums she released this year, I would say August is probably my favorite song. And the fact that
what about Peace?
Oh, but see, I don't want to listen to Peace just like anywhere. Like I would listen to August like on a plane, a train, and like I would listen. Peace is reserved. So August, yes, I stand by what I said. August is so good, and the fact that she played it means like she knows that it's like my song. Then I'm like, oh wow, that was so great. Then she goes into an Evermore song, Willow, which is my fucking favorite song on that album. And Aaron Dessner, the lights come on, Aaron Dessner, Jack Antonoff, they're in front, she's with her dress. You realize like the house they're in, really, I think it was meant to resemble Lily Pond Studios.
Yeah.
Is that what it was called?
It was, I don't think it was Lily Pond.
Pondery Place.
Taylor Swift Pond.
Long Pond Studios.
Pond.
Okay, I was really close. And it was just like beautifully metaphorical and wonderful, and she looked gorgeous, and the songs were gorgeous. She sounded gorgeous. It was a 10 out of fucking 10.
Yes, I loved the set. Looked like a storybook. I felt like that was a great use of the auditorium situation, and it was clear that it could be done.
Yeah, it could be done.
Also, before her was Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, Silk Sonic. Now that was my number one performance of the night.
It was stellar.
It was so fucking good. That song, we haven't had a chance to recap the first song that came out, Leave the Door Open, and it's so amazing.
He just nails that aesthetic. Like he has this idea and the way that it comes to life. Like I knew like with the outfits and the dancers and the microphones and the song, it was just really so like beautifully disco-y.
Yes.
I love him.
So good. I'm so excited for the album they're putting out. And it was such a treat to like have him back on the Grammy stage, like in the mix.
Where he should be. He
took a break. I'm happy for him. Sometimes self-care looks like taking a break, but sometimes it looks like coming back to the Grammys and giving the people what they want.
I couldn't agree more. So well said.
DaBaby and Roddy Ricch.
Okay. Unbelievable. When those old women, like who were in the choir, were like choiring, like making gospel, it was so
but
brilliant.
Also like dancing.
Yes, they were giving me life. I thought it was such an interesting way to perform a song that we've heard so many times, and I had so much respect for the ingenuity. Like he literally turned a rap song into like a gospel soul song. It was so genius. I loved it.
Yeah. Did Justin Bieber perform?
No.
No, I'm going through the list of nominees. Did Lady Gaga or Ariana Grande?
No.
Did Beyonce? No.
No, but she gave us so much life in, I forgot you didn't watch. Okay. So her and Megan Thee Stallion won, I forget what the category was, but obviously Hips Tick Tock When I Dance, that song.
Yes, of course.
And like Beyonce let Meg like make the whole speech. Megan was like freaking out that she was on stage with Beyonce, and as she was like the stage was ending, Trevor Noah of course like pops in, and he's like, by the way, like history has just been made. Beyonce is now tied with, he didn't say who it was, but I read up, it's Alison Krauss, for the most female awarded Grammy artist of all time, which was like crazy. But it did give me like a little flashback to like Kanye VMA, like, cause it was like really like Meg's moment. And Beyonce was like really letting Meg have the moment. Like Beyonce said 2 words at the end. And Beyonce felt like she made the same face that she made like when Kanye interrupted Taylor Swift at the VMAs, but it ended up being fine. I think maybe I was the only one who felt that way. And then Beyonce won another, award like 2 seconds later, thus making her, they said on air, the most awarded artist. And then I saw the Recording Academy on Twitter like kind of clarified female artist.
Oh, I was seeing most awarded artist.
That's what they said on the TV. That's why I was confused.
Okay, still amazing.
No, it was cool to watch in real time. And Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce's, I would encourage you to watch on YouTube. Like the 2 of them standing there, like Megan Thee Stallion, like freaking the fuck out. She's like, when I grew up, like everyone around me knows, like all I wanted to be was Beyonce. And like I literally became the ratchet Beyonce, and it's like been the biggest dream of my life. It was just like a great moment for women.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, yeah. I'm going to go through all the winners now. Share your thoughts if you have any.
I pretty much agreed with all the winners. Like,
okay, record of the year was Billie Eilish, Everything I Wanted.
Except that one.
I'm going to disagree.
Yeah.
Album of the year, Folklore, Taylor Swift.
Hands down.
I heard like you really weren't feeling that one.
No, I mean, I just like knew it, you know? It's hard being like Raven-Symoné.
No, and I'm so happy for Taylor, especially after like having watched Miss Americana and the snub for Reputation.
We know how important it is to her.
When she was singing in her song, like, I Come Back Stronger Than a 90s Trend, I felt like she was talking to the Academy.
The Grammys, yeah. And when she made her speech, she was like, thank you so much. Like, I'll never forget that you did this for me. Like, certain artists don't care about the Grammys. Taylor has made it very, very clear, like, album of the year and just the Grammys in general is something she really values.
Yeah. Song of the year was I Can't Breathe by her.
Yes.
Best new artist, Megan Thee Stallion.
I agreed with, but who else was nominated?
A lot of nominees: Ingrid Andress, Phoebe Bridgers, Chica, Noah Cyrus, D-Smoke, Doja Cat, Kate Trinata. I think Megan Thee Stallion, who won, is the clear winner.
Now I'm remembering when I found out Noah Cyrus is nominated in the same category as Megan Thee Stallion, and I was like pretty much shook, and I'm just feeling that all over again.
Yes. Best music video: Brown Skin Girl, Beyonce, Blue Ivy Carter, and WizKid.
Oh yes, Blue Ivy now has a Grammy. Happy for her.
Best pop duo group performance: Rain on Me, Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande.
100% well deserved.
Best pop solo performance, Watermelon Sugar, Harry Styles, which I think is a big deal, like considering when you remember like Harry Styles came from One Direction, a band whose music was very popular but never Grammys worthy.
No, and like considering all the other songs nominated too in that category, it was a hard category.
It was. How was BTS's performance? That's something I have to. They sang Dynamite.
They literally, the Grammys like uses BTS for ratings because it was the last thing. It was after album of the year.
They always do that.
Oh, every award show uses BTS. But my God, I was like, na, 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 na. It was so good. And I was like dancing in my bed and Ben was like trying to go to sleep. And I was just trying to explain to him like the production value. I'm like, these kids, like their dancing was better. It was the same. It's like all their performances. Like this one wasn't any different, but it was just like 10 out of 10 dancing.
No, it's like,
10
it
out of 10.
doesn't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And it was like gorgeous, you know, Hollywood lights. Like I think they were in Korea.
Yeah, they were in Seoul.
Yeah, but it was still like they were like in a studio and then they walk up the stairs and they're like on top of a building. There's like fireworks. It was just Hollywood glamour, like 5 stars.
They are really showmen, and these days we don't get that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of things are like stripped down.
They reminded me as I was watching them, like they are like Bruno Mars. Like the way they have this, like they make like the show like a priority. Like,
yes. They're
all
showmen.
Elements, showmen, yeah. They are the greatest showmen.
They are the greatest showmen.
And I was actually really surprised that Dynamite did not win anything. Like, it really was like a song of the year.
I agree. And I think it's really hurtful.
I agree. And the BTS army was fucking twisted up on Twitter last night.
I know, because they were so excited that they were nominated. And it was a big deal for them to be nominated. But I do think that Dynamite, like, is one of those songs that cured the year.
It reminds me of like, and I don't know why I keep comparing them to Bruno Mars, but it was like a 24 Karat Magic. Like it was just a song that just like snuck up on us that it was like, damn, this song is so fucking good.
Yes, agreed. Best pop vocal album went to Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa.
And I feel as though she deserved that in the pop category.
Yes, I agree. And it also feels like for a lot of these people who were nominated in many categories won at least one.
I don't know anyone that didn't win anything except Haim, I think.
And did Justin Bieber win anything?
No, but he also like denounced the Grammys on his story, remember?
That's true. And also they announced so many before the show. And
oh, he won with Jan and Shay.
For 10,000 Hours.
That I feel as though is deserved. I love that song.
Yeah, and then all of the different genres, rock, country, etc.
Yeah, the country category I thought was really, really interesting. Miranda Lambert won, and I do feel I've made like such a 180 on Miranda Lambert. Like I respect the fuck out of her, and her album Wildcard is so good. And I thought she deserved to win, even though I was really gunning for Ashley McBryde because I love her so much. But it was all women in the category. There was not.
I know.
And you know what's so interesting? Sorry to cut you off again. I feel like in country award shows, like the men are always winning, and it's like the Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, like they're kind of like they all do the same thing. I don't include Luke Combs in that category. I think he's a really unique artist, but like the big like Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, Blake Shelton, like they all have the same 3 songs and they like share them, and it's like not real music. And I think they are always like winning, whereas like the women in country music like are putting out like heartfelt lyrical masterpieces. And I'm so glad the Grammys respected the women in country because in my opinion they release better music.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think Miranda Lambert, I'm so happy that she won. I think her album was great. My personal country album of the year though was
Ingrid Andress.
Ingrid Andress.
Me too, but I stand by Ashley McBryde. I know I'm new on the Ashley McBryde ship, but like we are fully built, ready to go.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
Love to see a new ship. Speaking of ships, let's segue into our next story. A little relationship news. Very confusing. On Friday, Page Six announced that JLo and A-Rod broke off the engagement, and then everyone else said no, they didn't. And now JLo and A-Rod are saying no, we didn't.
They're saying we're working through stuff.
Yeah, they say they love each other and want to work on their relationship. A-Rod told TMZ that he is not single, and JLo put out a TikTok video that was so sickening. Did you see the video?
No.
Okay, she put out a TikTok that it's all about like her being fabulous, like montage sort of.
Okay.
And it references the split. She posts all the headlines and then was like, said something. What did she say? Something like,
oh wow, good for her. I live for a TikTok clarification.
Yeah,
Let me just watch it.
She debunked.
Good for her. I actually just recently followed JLo on TikTok, so I'm actually surprised I didn't see her content.
Yeah, it's a really good TikTok video, and she's also letting us know. And I don't know. I mean, when we heard the news that they were Splitsville.
Okay, here it.
Oh, she's going to watch the video.
This?
Yes.
Oh, wow. She's such a queen. Okay, I don't want to get demonetized, but love that for her.
Yes. So they're still together, apparently.
They obviously have problems. Like, we've all been alive and well in the last 6 months. Like, there's a lot going on there.
There is a lot going on. So
and just Madison LaCroix, like, taking down a Hollywood couple.
I was, like, ready for it to be over for them, and because I just think he's so unworthy.
I agree.
But now they're still together, so never mind.
I'm, like, upset by this whole thing because I think of them as a couple. I was so invested in. Like, I thought that these two people, like the fact that they haven't been married for 50 years, like makes no sense. Like, they're perfect for each other in a million different ways. And then over the last year, I've just heard all these things about him, like fucking around on JLo. Obviously, the Madison LaCroix one is very public, but there's a couple headlines like random playmates, different models coming out saying they FaceTime, they like have phone sex with him. And I'm like, you're really gonna disrespect JLo like that? Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, are you kidding? It's disgusting.
It is. She's everything of the sort, and I feel like the events of the last few months have made me realize, like, he's kind of nothing of the sort.
No, and I went from, like, idolizing him as, like, an athlete, a businessman, and as a businessman beau, to literally, like, thinking so low of him. Like, you're gonna fuck around on JLo? Like, who on God's green diddly-dally earth do you think you are?
Yeah.
To fuck around on JLo. Mm-hmm. That's just not it.
No, it's not it. And
it's disgusting.
Who knows what happens from here, but they're together, so we'll respect it.
I do feel like it's probably like the beginning of the end.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like, why would she renege? Like, why? She's like, because once it's over, like, everyone's going to take her side, obviously.
It takes time. Maybe they're not, like, officially over right now, but, like, this is the first break, and I think it's just the beginning. They could possibly still be together, but, like, an independent, fierce woman like JLo, like, she just can't get over things like this. Like, it's unforgivable.
I agree. So, There's nothing to say anymore. The story was they broke up, and then the story was that they didn't.
Yeah, this is giving me like Lily Reinhart, Cole Sprouse vibes. Like everyone reported that they broke up, and then they literally tweeted like, no, we didn't.
But then eventually they did.
See?
Yeah. Okay, our next story, back to award shows. Ugh. The Oscar nominations are here. They were announced by Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra.
See, this is actually like what makes me roll my eyes, like the Oscars.
Yeah, so let's just go through the big categories. If you feel strongly or want to make a prediction, let me know.
I've only seen, I think, for movies that are Oscar worthy, I've only seen Promising Young Woman, which was excellent.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's nominated for Best Picture, along with Nomadland, which from what I've heard is like a Best Picture.
Okay.
The Trial of the Chicago 7, also heard really good things. Minari, Sound of Metal, The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, and Mank.
I heard Judas and the Black Messiah was fire.
Actress in a leading role: Frances McDormand, Nomadland; Vanessa Kirby, Pieces of a Woman; Carey Mulligan, Promising Young Woman. Oh, I didn't realize that she was in it, and you were still able to watch it?
Okay, so did we talk about it on the podcast?
I don't think so.
I think we did. I think actually you might be having amnesia because I said she like looked so weird in the movie. Like, because what do you think? When you think of Carey Mulligan, what do you think
Pixie
of?
Cut.
Daisy.
Great Gatsby.
Yeah. She looked like Britney Spears, like the whole movie. She had like long blonde hair and like just couldn't see her as any, like it was so confusing to watch her, but she was very good.
Okay, that's good to know. Viola Davis, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and Andra Day, The United States versus Billie Holiday.
Andra Day is a shoo-in, in my opinion.
And then actor in a leading role, Chadwick Boseman is nominated for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Anthony Hopkins, The Father; Riz Ahmed, Sound of Metal; Gary Oldman, Mank; Steve Yeun, Minari.
That'd be like really beautiful if Chadwick Boseman won.
Yeah, that would be really beautiful. A posthumous Oscar.
Award, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actress in a supporting role. Are you still interested?
Oh, I'm not paying attention anymore.
I know. I just
haven't heard of any of these
movies.
movies.
I really haven't seen, or even some of them I heard of, didn't see.
Yeah.
Some of them I have not heard of.
No, me too.
So I think,
and that's crazy because like we literally talk about pop culture full time. That's just what I'm saying. Like these movies, movies used to be like. Do you remember the year when like? There used to be a time when like you would see, maybe it's because theaters like aren't open this year, but where you would see like 5 out of 5, like you saw Slumdog Millionaire, like you saw all of them.
But also it's like theaters weren't open this year, but we all spent the whole year watching movies and television from home. So I don't know.
No, I guess like Trolls didn't get nominated.
I guess
it was the movie of the year.
I guess it didn't. I guess The Holiday didn't get nominated.
I guess The King of Staten Island didn't either, which is shocking.
The only other category that I am always interested is the original song.
Oh yeah, me too.
Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, actually, I do believe I came on here and like ripped to shreds that movie Eurovision.
You did.
It was a piece of shit, but the music was fucking amazing.
Okay.
Like, so I was shocked.
Okay, that's positive.
Yeah.
Also, Fight for You from Judas and the Black Messiah, Low C from The Life Ahead, Speak Now by Taylor Swift, from One Night in Miami, and Hear My Voice from The Trial of the Chicago 7. I feel like this is the first time in a while that a animated movie song didn't get nominated.
I'm gonna listen to the music because I actually enjoy that.
Yeah, that's always one of my personal favorite categories.
Did you say Cynthia Erivo is one of the singers?
Oh, I didn't say who sings the songs.
Are you sure? I thought you just said that.
I said the movie it's from.
Oh. Well, if Cynthia Erivo is gonna perform, like then I'll tune into the Oscars because she's something to say.
Yes. Well, when are the Oscars?
Who cares?
I guess I'm the one with the iPad. I would know. April 25th.
I would just like to know if, like, our listeners, like, do you also hate the Oscars?
You know what? That is such a great question. Like, do you want us to be watching these things? Is it important to you?
Because, like, I'll do it for you, but just know, like, I would literally rather die than watch the Oscars this year.
I agree. Like, I will do it if everyone says, please, we need your recap. Like, I will do it. That's what we do. But if you guys feel as we do and, like, we just don't care about these things right now, let us know.
Yeah. I've just never really, like, I think it just over the last few years, I've just become, like, over movies. I know that sounds crazy. I'm just so much more of, like, a TV show girly now. Because it used to be, like, movies were so much better than TV. Now it's, like, TV is where you want to be.
And also, like, to be in a show or a limited series on a streaming service, like, is extremely prestigious.
Yeah, it used to be, like, no one wanted to be on TV.
Right. It was, like, the small screen versus the big screen. But when everything is on your TV at home, it's all the same. And also, like, doing a series like I think of like Queen's Gambit, like that is a movie that was done episodically.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if like in a few years like Leonardo DiCaprio does like a short miniseries on Netflix. Like, it's prestigious now. And it's the Golden Globes for me, like, I don't live for, but they are, to me, a little bit more my speed because
they include television.
Yeah.
I agree. I just think that the way it's categorized is starting to become outdated. Yeah. Considering everything that we watch is like, even if it's like a series that has 3 parts, that's a show. That's not a movie. But like, we're not in these boxes anymore.
No, and honestly, like, The Queen's Gambit is the perfect example because for me, that was like the most amazing thing that came out this year, and it won't win an Oscar because it's not a movie.
Right.
Technically.
But it's Oscar worthy.
I completely agree. Yeah. They should really change their rules.
Like, I think that at one day they're going to because
times are changing.
Times are changing. I agree. Okay, speaking of change, Chris Harrison.
Speaking of change, is it the Chris Harrison story that happens to be brought to you by Legacy Box?
Yes.
Wow, that's a huge relief.
I'm so glad you got that in.
Legacy Box is a super simple mail-in service to have all your home movies and pictures digitally preserved on a thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud. So if you're the type of person who has like a storage box full of old cassettes, VCR, we had so many VHSs growing up, and when you want to go find them and watch them, it's nearly impossible. But Legacy Box is the best service. They literally send you a box and a label to ship in all your whatever it is, cassettes, your bar mitzvah, your wedding, anything that you can't access anymore, and they will digitize it for you. We've used it. It's such a fabulous service. It's literally the best idea. It's one of those companies where I'm like, I should have come up with that. Legacy Box is a way for you to easily and affordably digitally preserve your past. The process from start to finish is so easy. You pack and send your items, their team will digitize everything by hand, and then you enjoy, and you'll get back perfectly preserved digital copies on thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud. It'll be ready to watch and share and enjoy. Plus, while they are processing it, they will keep you up to date with regular emails throughout the process. Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos, and has helped over 1 million families digitally preserve their past. So obviously this is great for anyone who has a lot of those old movies, but it's great for like a mom or a grandma, a gift. I think it'll be really sweet for someone's birthday. So if you want to get started preserving your past, do that today at legacybox.com/toast, and you can get an incredible 50% off your first order when you use that link legacybox.com/toast. Today, to take advantage of this exclusive offer today, but you can send it in whenever you're ready. If you go to legacybox.com/toast and save 50% while supplies last.
Great. So speaking of change, Chris Harrison has been replaced on The Bachelorette by Tayshia Adams and Kaitlyn Bristowe. Warner Horizon and ABC Entertainment told Page Six in a statement on Friday that Kaitlyn Bristowe and Tayshia Adams will co-host the next season of The Bachelorette. Quote, Chris Harrison will not be hosting the next season of The Bachelorette. We support Chris in the work that he is committed to doing. In his absence, former Bachelorettes Tayshia Adams and Kaitlyn Bristowe will support the new Bachelorette through next season.
I mean, that's crazy. Like, I think that when he had stepped back, I thought it was just like, just to like calm people down, and thought maybe it would blow over by the time the new season was ready to start. But people are really, really fucking unhappy with Chris Harrison. And I think that people are going to be very pleased with Tayshia and Kaitlyn. And I think that's actually like such an honor for Tayshia and Kaitlyn.
Yes, definitely. It's still unclear like what's going to happen after this season of The Bachelorette. Like for next Bachelor, it's possible that Chris comes back, or do they bring in 2 former Bachelor contestants who are men to support the male lead?
Or maybe like Kaitlyn and Tayshia are so universally beloved, like this becomes they're the new Chris Harrison.
Right. So maybe it's a trial, but also, and I'm so excited for it to be Kaitlyn and Tayshia. I think both of them are perfect choices, but like the fact that it takes 2 women to do the job that
it ain't that hard.
No, but like why couldn't I mean, I'm happy to have both of them, but like why does it take 2 of them if Chris Harrison could do it alone?
I know, and also like I mean, I think I can at least speak for Kaitlyn. Like, Kaitlyn is a professional host. Like, she hosts her own podcast. It's super successful. I don't think there's a doubt that she could do the job, or Tayshia.
Right. But when I first read this statement, maybe it's just the way that they framed it. They'll be there to support the lead. Like, they'll have, like, girl chats and stuff and, like, off camera, not necessarily, like, be hosting. Like, are they going to come in and say, this is the final rose? Like, we fucking know it's the final rose.
So maybe, well, that's true. Like, Chris Harrison's job, like the show could go on without it. It's like, thank you, Chris Harrison. We know how to count.
Yeah.
And actually, that's a good point. Kind of how like JoJo did when she filled in for Chris Harrison. Yes, she was there like for emotional support, but she didn't pop in and be like, this is the final rose, because like it's literally self-explanatory.
Right. So I think maybe that will just go regardless. But I think I don't know if they're stepping into Chris Harrison's shoes exactly, or they're going to change up the format of like what it means to be the host of the show,
role will be different.
Which I'm just like here for in general.
Yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued because I love Kaitlyn and I love Tayshia, but I do feel like, and I know I sound like a broken record. I've said this 100 times. I do believe after tonight, like I'm done.
Yeah. It's been a journey. Tonight is the final rose, you guys.
And it's the finale and after the final rose tonight, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you who is happy about this. The truckers for Tayshia.
Yeah.
They are going ham, you guys.
They've lost their minds.
They're so excited, and I'm excited for them.
Me too. I'm just like, I feel, maybe I'm curious if other people feel this way. Like, I'm so fatigued by the Bachelor franchise. Just like, they've really put us through a lot this year. And like, I'm just kind of over it. I'm really curious to see how this season ends up. Now I feel like we've finally caught up with real life, like watching these dates that I know were filmed 6 months ago, when so much has happened in the last month. So I'm looking forward to tonight seeing, like, I do believe Rachel wins. I do believe maybe they are still together. I don't know how they could be after all this, but I'm curious to get an update and to actually hear from Rachel Kirkconnell. But after that, like, I think I'm just done. Like, it's so exhausting.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Okay.
So that's okay. And we'll see, do they announce a new Bachelorette tonight? In past, they have, because usually the Bachelorette starts filming in like 4 dads from after the final rose.
I heard a spoiler, so
I heard a spoiler too, and based on the spoiler that I heard, you won't be watching.
100%.
Okay, fifth and final story, just a little streaming news. Disney Plus is popping off, and it is forecast to steal Netflix's crown as the world's biggest streaming firm by 2024. So that's just a little caveat.
Okay, and also, like, who knows what could happen? Like,
so much can happen.
Like, we literally, who thought the pandemic was going to happen, you know?
Right. Netflix is forecast to lose its crown as the world's biggest video streaming provider within 3 years.
Maybe that's why Netflix is now, like, cracking down, we reported last week, on shared family accounts. Like, you have to start using your own account.
Yes, amid explosive growth at Disney after the launch of its rival on-demand service only 16 months ago. So we have spent a lot of time here at the Morning Toast chronicling the streaming wars.
The success is Disney Plus, the failure is Quibi.
Yes, and I think that this is an interesting update. Though, like, a lot needs to happen in the next 3 years for it to take hold. But it's nice to know that Disney Plus is doing so well.
Yeah, I mean, Disney Plus is actually killing it. And when you think Disney Plus, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's great for kids. And it's great for, like, adults who want to watch old episodes of Hannah Montana. But it's actually really kind of nailing it in the music space, like with Black is King, Long Pond Studios. Like, they're kind of like hitting a bunch of other categories like I didn't see them succeeding in, and stealing. Like, Netflix did a few music specials like Ben Platt and whatever, but they're kind of like killing it in places I didn't think they would kill it in, like obviously like cartoons.
Interesting. Also, I think that like The Mandalorian, I know we don't watch that, like Baby Yoda is so
huge
massive for them.
And they had a really, like a bunch of really good premieres.
Baby Yoda is so cute.
Camper.
He's camper.
I know, I kind of want to like kiss him.
No, everybody loves Baby Yoda, and I don't think I'll ever watch The Mandalorian. I mean, I know that I won't. Something would have to go very wrong for me to start watching The Mandalorian, but I think Baby Yoda is someone we can all get behind.
I actually think he's like a camper at heart, and he's so fucking cute.
He's so cute, he needs to be counseled.
I don't know anything about like what is a Mandalorian, what is the TV show about. All I know is like Baby Yoda is so cute.
So cute. Here's what I think I know, and it makes sense based on the fact that Yoda is a baby.
I actually don't want to know.
It's a prequel to Star Wars. So like Yoda in the Star Wars is, I think he's old
fully
and
grown.
wise.
Yeah.
In the prequel, he's a bebe.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I think that's the concept.
Okay, well, happy for Disney Plus. Keep killing it. Maybe we can get like an Evermore Long Pond Studios. I don't know, just an idea. Throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we could.
Like, they actually dead ass stole Taylor Swift and Beyonce from Netflix. Homecoming was on Netflix. Miss Americana was on Netflix. Reputation was on Netflix. I guess they're just paying big bucks to huge stars, and it's working.
That's so true. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on one more thing, because Taylor announced that Loverfest is canceled. It's not happening. I think that makes a lot of sense considering she's put out like 2 whole new albums since.
And Lover, like, we're done. Like,
Lover who?
Yeah, we're like done with her. I just assumed it would be canceled. Like, this is not news to me.
Right. No, that wasn't my next question, which was like, so what do you think she's going to do next? Considering she had this like plan for a festival, I feel like Evermore and Folkmore like could be a very like fall harvest festival.
Yeah, no, I definitely think we're gonna skip over the Lover era and do like a Folklore Evermore. I don't know if it'll be like another festival or a concert, a tour. I think part of the reason why she was doing Loverfest was back then, which was literally like 2 years ago now, she was going through a lot and like could not tour.
She was fatigued.
She was fatigued, and also I think her mom's health was I think her cancer had made a return. So I think she didn't want to spend time away from her mom. But, you know, that was a while ago. Like, maybe things have changed. Maybe she can go on tour now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I would live.
Maybe she's looking forward to tour life.
I would live for like an Evermore folklore, like somber ass, like Bon Iver type, like cry fest.
Yeah, I think that's what you might be getting. But I also like, she does stadiums, and I don't know. I feel like that like concrete isn't the vibe, and I would like a grassy knoll.
I know, but the thing is, say what you want about Taylor Swift, whether you like love her or hate her, she knows how to put on a show.
A showman.
She is like a definition of like her concerts are experiences. So I think even if it is like a more low key vibe, she will make it a sensation.
She'll cultivate the vibe.
But that's like how I felt when I saw Ed Sheeran, like a man and his guitar at MetLife Stadium. Like, give me a light or something. Like, there was nothing. It was so boring. And I like Ed Sheeran, but his concert was not it.
Yeah, I think that she'll definitely get creative considering the vibe of Folklore and Evermore. She'll cultivate that vibe.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I agree.
And I'm like, I love her, like that little trio of Aaron Dessner. He's like so cute. And I don't know if he's ever won a Grammy before, but he was just like so excited. And like Jack Antonoff, I feel like has won 1 million Grammys because he produces so many popular albums. And he didn't even say anything, but Taylor let Aaron Dessner speak first. And he was just like so excited, like thinking his brother and shit. Like, I was living for it.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah.
Okay, well, those are the Fast Five stories. I feel as though you needed to know them.
I did not watch Real Housewives of Atlanta because I was watching the Grammys, but you did watch.
I did watch the last 2 episodes. We haven't recapped yet. It's the fallout from The Bachelorette. You see the story make its way to page 6 and in the blogs, and everyone's speculating on. I mean, there's not even anything to speculate. Like, it was Kenya,
100%.
though she hasn't like admitted it.
But all the girls agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's not like a huge point. It's just like, it was Kenya.
Fact.
You know, and it's like, we're not even going to debate it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like for Kenya, she was trying to, you know, get Portia to engage in this conversation. And Portia's strategy at the end of the party and going forward has just been to like not even respond to Kenya.
It's not her
and
business.
That didn't work for Kenya. So Kenya took it to the press, to a place so that Portia had to address it at some point. She still hasn't really. There was
It's nobody's fucking business. The cameras were off. She's a single woman. Leave her alone.
I so agree. Kenya just is so wrong on this. And then the episode that aired last night was 10-10-20, Cynthia and Mike's wedding, which was so stunning. It was really crazy to watch her wedding, like, given... Like, I just kept thinking back to her wedding to Peter, which we watched when it aired, and the vibe is just completely different. And, like, the way that her sister is just, like, so here, like, they're in this together versus, like, remember at Peter's wedding. They stole the license. So it's just, like, it's... shared the two of them, and it was so nice to watch and see. And she talks about like getting flack for having a wedding during a pandemic. I guess Wendy Williams had really like gone in on her at the time, and it was like watching it then, it's like, given what we know, everything about this year, it's like the wedding just felt even more special, that it was like a celebration of such love and like people coming together.
Yeah, I'm not the type of person who's gonna shame, like, if someone invites you to a wedding, I'm not going to disagree with them. If I feel safe, I'll go. If I don't feel safe, I won't go. We live in a free country. Do what you want. But I do think it's interesting how, like, and I was surprised because I know Kelly Dodd is problematic as fuck, but I was actually surprised she didn't have, like, a full-out wedding, like, with, like, 300 people. She had a 20-person wedding, and, like, they were giving her shit at the reunion. So I fear for Cynthia, like, what they're going to say at the reunion.
And there was, like, a hurricane coming through, so they had to move the ceremony indoors. So it would have been an outdoor wedding, but it was an indoor wedding. There was a lot of people, like, I'm sure it will come up at the reunion, but I was just really happy for Cynthia.
I know. And she just had, like, such a long journey, and, like, I do feel like chill is forever.
Forever.
So I love him.
It was such a beautiful thing to behold, and there weren't cameras they didn't go into the wedding. It was people's like home iPhones, and also Cynthia's like videographer footage, which was also kind of nice, because I do feel like sometimes when the cameras are there, they drag everything out. But so instead it was just like, these are the need to know moments.
Yeah, well,
it felt more intimate.
I actually have been to a televised wedding, Brittany and Jack's, and I have to say, there was like a full camera crew there, and I feel like they did a really good job of, like, they looked like just regular videographers for weddings. They didn't drag stuff out. Like, everyone was just like, I actually had a lot of respect for, like, how much they didn't torture Jax and Brittany to, like, get certain footage.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, like, from the viewer perspective, when they have all this footage, they air all of it. Sometimes it's even a special, and it's like, there's not that much that I care to see. I just want to see the major moments. And so we were able to be there without being bored by it. And so we saw the very special moments, and I loved being able to watch it. So
that's nice.
It was really nice. But the night before the wedding, they had a party for the nieces because I guess Candy and Kenya are bridesmaids, so they were with Cynthia the night before.
So the aunties were away.
The aunties were away. The nieces will play. And
So
it was
funny.
just like crazy. It actually was such a fun looking night, but Toya's just so
wishy-washy.
Two-faced. You have to watch this scene. It's like, what are you trying to say? Like, it's like she just says a million things, and whichever one, like, someone's gonna agree, like, that's the road she would go down.
Right.
But what does she actually stand for? I don't know.
Right, because when she was like finally seeing like who Kenya really was in South Carolina, I thought she had finally like turned to the good side. And then she goes to Kenya's photo shoot and is like apologizing. I'm like, no, you were right.
Yeah, I agree.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, and then she like starts to air some of her stuff with her husband, and even the other girls, like Portia's like, that's not your place to be telling us this.
No.
So it's like she's no
all
idea.
Extreme one way and extreme the other.
And it's extreme. It's too extreme.
That's so extreme.
So it was really good. We have a lot of TV to catch up on this week. Last week I did not watch anything, so I'll be watching like everything in threes pretty much,
right.
Except for The Bachelor, which is on tonight.
Yes. So we are back on with the TV recaps this week. I apologize for not watching. I just like couldn't do it.
I understand. I couldn't either. I was just in another place, reading, watching period pieces, and it was lovely.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, but now I'm back on the grind. Sometimes self-care looks like hard work, guys.
Yes. So if you're listening as a podcast, stay tuned for an amazing interview with Jasmine Sullivan from the Sports Illustrated
Jasmine
swimsuit.
Sanders.
Oh, God, sorry. Jasmine Sanders from the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. And that's it.
That's all she wrote. And she actually wrote a lot today. So
Huge.
we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.